Hi lads, good seeing you again this week. I feel like we started making a bit of breakthrough towards the end of the session. I'm just going to recap a couple of the key points here. So from face on, we're seeing some good improvement actually. Technically the swing is looking far better. Club face is in decent position. You're getting the club head closed down a lot more on the way through, and you can see there's far less flick. So you're getting into this good lag position, hands are getting to the ball first, so a little bit of forward lean. And then on the way through you can see you're just holding this, you're losing that flick on the way through, which is great. So actually from this position, technically looking pretty decent. Of course the strikes haven't been showing that, so let's have a look as to why. So if we just play through this video, what we're going to see, I've had to slightly adjust the play line here because the camera moves a fraction, so on the downswing we'll see it moves back into position. There we go. So of course the key that we're trying to, the key position we're trying to get to is from the face-on angle. We know technically you're looking much better. The club face is more closed, there's more forward shaft lean. That's going to produce a stronger ball flight with more compression. Now of course, if you're not striking in the centre of the club, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference what it's looking like from face-on. You're not going to hit a good golf shot. So we've got to hit towards the centre of the club. Now just have a look, this is why we're struggling. Because the club is sat underneath, so much underneath the plane line on the downswing, we're having to work seriously hard to get it back anywhere near the plane line on the way through. Now, during the lesson, we kind of overcame that by not standing quite so far away, just to give you a bit of a chance, but also by dropping the right foot way back, because by dropping the right hip out of the way, the hands and the arms were working more this way, which of course is encouraging the shaft to sit more onto the plane line through impact. And you saw a couple of really stunning golf shots, lovely contact, plenty of height and distance, which shows a good strike. So that was kind of the swing that we're after. Now on reflection, without dropping the right foot out of the way, it's going to take a hell of a lot of practice to create that feel to then be able to bring the right hip back into position. So what I'm saying is let's make life a little bit easier. And the way we're going to do this is by making sure in the downswing you're not having to do so much work to get the club back into position. Now normally I don't mind this position where the club's slightly underneath the plane line, but obviously you've been struggling with it. You're struggling with the shaft sat so far underneath the plane line. To try and join it back to plane is proving quite difficult. So what I'd actually like to do in the next session is to work on getting essentially the hands a touch higher up at the top of the backswing, so more into this position. And if we can do that, then of course as we start the downswing, the shaft won't be sat in this position, it will be more like here. So we'll be still slightly under plane, which is, as I say, something I always coach people to do, be slightly underneath the plane line, but of course it's going to halve the amount of correction you have to make into the ball to get the club back onto the plane line. And we should see through impact you then sit on the plane line, and of course what that's going to give us is the central contact. So I'm just trying to make the downswing and the feeling through impact a little bit easier for you. So don't stand too far away from the ball at the moment. If you keep, whatever you do, if you keep striking in the toe of the club, get yourself just a little bit closer, give yourself some margin for error. By all means have a load of practice with that right foot drop back to give you the feel of the cover drive on the way through. But between now and seeing you again, if you want to experiment with the hands, keep the swing short by the way, because this does help the sequence, which is something we talked about during the lesson. But if you want to experiment with what I'm talking about here, which is getting the hands just a little bit more in front of the chest at the top of the backswing, then give it a go, because as I said, it's going to make this position on the downswing easier. You're going to sit far closer to the plane line, and the recovery isn't going to have to be quite as excessive. So yeah, have a little play around with that. We're going to keep it really straightforward, really simple from now on, just making sure that the club gets back to the ball correctly. That's all we want. All we want at impact is the shaft, which you can see is a good 2-3 inches underneath the plane line. We just got to get the shaft sat on the plane line. That's all we want. If we can do that with your face-on positions, then we're laughing, because you will get good strike, good compression, good contact, and just that nice little draw on the golf ball. So have a little bit of a play around with the things that I've said here, and by all means obviously watch the video more than once to get your head around it. But yeah, let's keep it nice and straightforward in practice, and then we can build a good solid impact position from there.